Am I doing it? Am I doing it? What's up, you guys? My name's Steph. Welcome back to the channel Coffee Over Apples. Here we talk about book, art, manga, anime, lifestyle, random stuff. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about all of the manga that I've read this year up to this point.
It could change the world.
First, I'm going to preface this video by saying, in case you don't know, I am one of the hosts for the Host Club, which is a manga book club that runs every month, along with a couple great booktube buddies of mine. So if you'd like to check us out, the links for all of the other hosts and our Discord, Twitter, all that fun jazz will be in the description below. But here we go with talking about all the manga I've read so far. So I guess this would be like a quarterly manga wrap-up, kind of. Recent reads of manga, let's put it that way. So I've started a bunch of series, some that I am going to continue and some that I'm really not going to continue. Let's talk about the biggest one of all that I am like a quarter of the way done with, because this is a year-long challenge. Inuyasha. For those of you who don't know, I am reading the entire Inuyasha series and watching the entire Inuyasha series because I'm doing another anime versus manga comparison video, which are some of the more popular videos on my channel. So here we go with that. But so far, I would say there's 56 volumes of manga. I am currently on volume 14, and there are 200 episodes in the anime plus 4 movies. And I am currently on anime episode 50. So we are a quarter of the way done with both the anime and the manga, right? I think that's how that's working. My math is, I'm an artist. I don't math. No, I'm lying. I do ratios, but you know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, I'm really liking this so far. Is it one of the best anime series I've ever watched? No. It has the longest slow burn. Like, we're 50 episodes in. We're 14 volumes in the manga, and we still don't have a first kiss. We don't even have a handhold. We have people confessing, I have a feeling for you, but I don't know what that feeling is. And it's driving me crazy. It's like, just make out already. But anyway, I digress. Inuyasha is the story of a girl who falls down the well into 500 years ago feudal Japan, ends up meeting this guy who's like half dog, demon, half human, stuck to a tree. Turns out his ex-girlfriend put him there. Turns out this new girl is the reincarnation of his ex-girlfriend, so she's like, hey, I'm gonna take you off this tree so you can save me from this giant monster. And then things happen. There's a jewel that has powers of good and evil. It gets shattered, and they go on a quest to collect those jewels before the bad guy does, and they meet all these fun friends here. It's a good time. It's really slow. The whole point of the show is that they're collecting these jewels, right? In the anime, they're almost done collecting the jewels. The jewel is almost back to being jewel-like. And I still have 150 episodes to go, so I don't know what's gonna happen. But it's a lot of fun. It's a good time. It's very nostalgic. This is a 1999 anime, early 90s manga. It's just, if you know what manga and anime like was back then, it's like everything was drawn out. Everything was explained. He's putting on his shoe. He's tying the laces. Nope, he's doing the left lace first. Now he's doing the right lace. Why did he do it that way? Well, technically, if you go back, he's left-handed, so he picked up the lace with his left hand, which means he's probably starting with the left lace. That is like how detailed everything is. It's just, oh, the nostalgia is the reason that I'm here, and I just want them to make out, but that's okay. It is a good time. I do suggest, if you are into this story, if you want some adult fantasy, if you miss back in the days where everything was an F-bomb, if that's your thing. Anyway, it's pretty good. Also, I started reading Overlord because when I was the host for January for the manga book club, the host club, I read the first 3 volumes of Overlord and I made everyone else read it with me. I'm so sorry. It was horrible. Here's what happened, okay? Overlord is one of my favorite animes. Like, one of my top 10 to 15 favorite animes of all time. Like, I love the anime. Yeah, it has problems. Yes, it's very cringy. But the manga was more cringy, okay? It was like next level cringe. It was like, ooh, we're really doing that? We're really doing that, huh? We're really doing that, huh? I get who it's written for, right? I get what it's trying to do. We love a harem. There's nothing wrong with a harem. Everyone is entitled to a harem if that is what they so wish. But it was like really laying it on thick. And the anime does that too. Just, it wasn't so much the focus. It was like the first episode, establishment, okay, we get it, like everybody's obsessed with this guy who's a skeleton. Again, let me digress. So, Overlord is great because we're following this guy who was a original beta tester for this MMORPG, and game became really popular, super popular, like Fortnite popular, and then it kind of fell off the face of the earth, like MySpace, and now he is the last one playing this game. So he was the villain, and he was a villain character, a villain protagonist, and antagonist, what are words? An anti-hero! He was an anti-hero, and he's the last one in the game. He waits until it's literally the last moment of shutdown when he's the last person there because everyone else doesn't want to play it anymore, and when it's time to log out, he's stuck. So it goes from there where he's stuck in this skeleton body, but in his head he still sounds like a weeb, and it's a fun time. It's really great. The anime has more plot than the manga. That is the problem here. It was so boring, and it was so full of fast-paced MMORPG jargon in the first 3 volumes that if you are not a game nerd, then you will not know what was going on. You might have to do a lot of looking up. I was able to keep up with it because I play video games, but I feel bad for the other people who read it because of me, and they were just like, what's happening? I was like, I feel really bad because the anime took its time in explaining these things if you are new to the world. The manga did not. So between excessive harem-centered focus and other things that were just not well explained in the manga, if you're really interested in going into this, I might suggest starting with the anime. The anime also spent some time explaining like conflict and world and politics that the manga kind of didn't in the first couple volumes. So I do definitely plan on doing an anime versus manga comparison video for that because, whoa, those were wildly different. Like, I did not expect it was going to be that different going into it, which is why I picked it. I was like, oh, this is going to be great. It's one of my favorite shows. And woo, was I wrong. Anyway, moving on to the next one. We also read this in January, and this is still definitely one of my favorite manga of all time. It's called Planets. We don't know how to say it. That's okay. This was my second time reading it, volume 1 omnibus, which is great. I love this. I love this so much. You guys know I love sci-fi, and this is a beautifully done slice of life science fiction set in the future where we are following a cleanup crew around the orbit of Earth. They are space garbage men, and they just want to do the best in life. One man is trying to look for remains of what his wife lost when she was in a space accident in which she passed away, so he's looking for her personal belongings, which is why he's in space. Someone else is just trying to do their best to save money to put their kids through college. Someone else is just trying to get the experience and know-how and save up enough money to get his own spaceship to go be the first man on Jupiter. It's really good. It's really wholesome. It's really sweet. I definitely suggest that if you've never read sci-fi before, if you've never read science fiction manga before, this is a great place to start. It's not super heavy, it's more on the wholesome side. I definitely suggest it. Also, for the month of March, I don't know when this video's going up. I don't know while I'm singing, but I'm just really excited to tell you about Way of the House Husband. It was so good. It was so good. Okay, Way of the House Husband was Nana's pick for March, and I'm so excited for the anime and the live action that's gonna come out on Netflix in April. Like, you have no idea. Me and this main character, we see each other. I see him, most likely. He can't see me through the page, but I see him. He is mine. So we are following our main character, which is an ex-Yakuza member. He was really reputable in the streets for knowing or just doing a lot of dirty laundry, and he gave up on that because he met the woman of his dreams. And so now he wants to be a house husband, and he just wants to stay home and take care of her in the house. And so he's just doing house husbandly duties with their cat, but in a very strict Yakuza gangster-like way. And people keep coming in his life, and they're like, we're gonna get revenge on you. And he's like, okay, but help me clip these coupons first. And it's freaking great. Freaking great. You have no idea. If that doesn't sell you, I don't know what will. It's just so much fun. So much fun. I was not expecting to like this much. Like, I'm seriously considering buying the volumes. I read them online, but I want physical copies. They're just so good. I loved it. It was hilarious. And his relationship with his wife, who is also an artist, which is why we are a match made in heaven. It is just so cute, so wholesome. She gets him. He meets his in-laws. It is fantastic. It is gold. Speaking of other gold, the other manga that I read this year was, I finished reading the last 2 volumes in January of Devil's Line. So Devil's Line was a really good vampire manga. There is an anime adaptation, and I watched the anime adaptation, okay? But the anime went on hiatus. It was so sad because I wanted more. It was so good. I loved it. So I won't be able to do an anime versus manga comparison video, even though I finished the anime, technically, and I finished the manga, because the anime is only halfway done. They, like, literally stopped right before the scene. I was totally in it. I was totally in it for the erotica, and they just stopped right there. But it was great. It was fantastic. Vampires meets Tokyo Ghoul. We're following this half vampire guy who is hunting down evil vampires who are making a bad reputation for the vampires who are actually trying to make a living as regular citizens of society. It's very, very good, very interesting. A lot of laws around vampire-human marriage and sexual relations. It was great. Great political drama, lots of LGBTQ rep. It was fantastic. The manga was fantastic. It's still not on my favorites list because I feel like it dragged out for too long. I would have been okay if it was a little bit shorter. Even though it was only 14 volumes, it was a little too long. Like, I wanted it to get to the point at a certain point. But the character development was gorgeous. So I definitely suggest it. If you're looking for an adult, vampire, politically charged action manga, go for that one. It was great. It was a good time. Why am I dancing? I don't know. Also this year, I read a volume of Horimiya. This was chosen by Rachel for the month of February. This was really cute. We watched the anime as part of our club, so if you wanted to watch some of the animes with us, you can always check out our live streams at our Discord. in the link below for the live stream schedule, but it was so much fun, and it was really cute. It was like these two teenagers, and they're kind of both got these secrets. This guy who has tattoos, and you know, tattoos in Japanese culture is not a very acceptable thing. It's kind of like, it has a lot of gang affiliations, so I can understand that. But also just kind of having any kind of piercings or creative self-expression on the body is not yet currently socially acceptable in Japan. So he's dealing with that, and she's also dealing with beauty issues, having to go out and wear makeup, so then when she doesn't have makeup on, it's kind of like a True Beauty kind of situation. If you've watched that, if you've seen that webtoon, but it's pretty good. I would definitely suggest it. The anime was really cute. I ship this couple. I ship them hard. And then also we ended up reading, oh my gosh, what was it? Nozaki-kun. We read the first 3 volumes of Nozaki-kun. Nozaki-kun was pretty funny. Nozaki-kun was great. It was based on like 4 panels, right? So it's that 4-panel structure, like those comics that you would usually see in like comic strips and newspapers, or even on Instagram where you have the 4 boxes, and so you have your setup and your pun, right? It was great. It was great. It was really funny. It was more catered to manga nerds. It was like basically following this guy who's in high school, but he's also a really popular manga artist, and this girl who wants to confess her love to him. So when she goes to do that, he actually takes her confession and hears it as, oh, you want to work for me? So she ends up working with him to get closer with him, and he ends up hiring all these people. It's really funny. It's really sweet. There's a lot of like misconstrued stuff. It's a good time. I do want to finish it eventually. I'm pretty sure that Rachel said that there is a anime for this too, so I definitely want to check that out because I think it looks really good. These 2 manga complemented each other so perfectly. So far, I feel like all of the hosts for the host club have been doing such a good job of choosing 2 mangas every month that just complement each other really well. So it's super exciting. For the month of March, we are also reading My Brother's Husband, which I'm really excited for, and that's volume 1. But at the time of filming this, I'm not yet done with it, so I don't want to give my comments on it yet because it's too soon. But those are all the manga that I've read this quarter. You guys, please let me know in the comments down below if you like this idea of me doing like quarterly wrap-ups. If you think that's something that I should do more often, definitely let me know. This was a lot easier than like throwing it in with all the books and stuff that I've read every month. I might do quarterly wrap-ups more often, or just call it like a recent reads, you know, recent manga reads, recent book reads. I don't know. How is my Goodreads goal going this year? My Goodreads goal, thank you for asking, is going fantastic, considering that I have no shame in adding manga to my Goodreads goal. So I set my goal to 50. I'm currently at 38, I believe. Of those 38, I think 13 are like novel books or nonfiction books mixed, and the rest are manga, and that is okay because reading is reading. Take that hot take. Goodbye.